Hey, Google, volume down. Hey, guys. Somebody, come on. I have a sleepless night. I thought I was going to be asleep. I'm yawning, and I lay there, and I keep yawning, but nothing's happening. I'm tired, but I can't go to sleep. Hey, Carla. Hey, Google, volume down. How you doing? I was just trying to see who was up, girl. I'm up here. Well, I'm down here in Atlanta, and I can't sleep. I have a lot on my mind, and I have a lot of work that I need to be doing, and maybe that's why I can't sleep, because I'm thinking about so many other things. But at the same time, I was thinking about the fact that I just put a post up, and I said, I realized how grown I am. And because I was laying in the bed reflecting, and I'm thinking about that I am so far from the place I used to be. Have you guys, hey Masha, have you guys been through that and gone, exactly, Carla, have you guys gone through the change where you look back and you realize you're nothing like you used to be? Like, sometimes I feel like the devil wants to toy with me and pour me back in these places that I used to be, but I can't go back there because I'm not the same person, Masha. And so this morning, guys, to be honest, today was an awful day, but it was a blessed day. It turned around. So first of all, I got up and I was like, it's going to be a good day. I mean, that's literally what I said. And I left out the house, and I mean, look at that collar. And I left out the house and I went to get some Gorilla Glue, because I put the desk together for the first time by myself. I put a desk together, guys. I'm so proud of myself. It was so many tools. It was everything. But I know that I didn't put it together correct because there was a lot of stuff left. Because it was millions of tools and stuff to put together. And so what I did was I had to go get some Gorilla Glue to hold some pieces together, right? It doesn't work on relationships, believe me. So anyway, guys, right, we're getting older. And so what happened was, because I left out the house so early, I left out like 8:15, like thinking it was like 10 o'clock, thinking everything was open. A lot of places wasn't open until 10, and so I rode around forever looking for a Home Depot and all of that. Right, listen, Marsha, though, listen. And so I ended up not getting back here till after 10:30, 11, because I ended up going one or two more places since I was out. I come in and I was like, let me, jump in the shower, because I literally went to Home Depot with this big oversized shirt on, some pajama pants, some slides, the mask, looking crazy. But of course, we know how men do. They, hey, beautiful, no matter what you got on. So I come in, I was like, let me go ahead and jump in the shower. I go to jump in the shower, guys, and the shower thing goes everywhere. For some reason, like one of the things must have popped off or whatever, and water go all over the windows, the mirror, the floor, everything. I'm like, oh my God. Previous to that, guys, before I put the Gorilla Glue together, I went to touch the desk, and part of the desk just fell over, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, God, this is where my day is going to go, right? And I wasn't feeling my best. So I'm going through all of this. And so I cut off the music and I put my aromatherapy music on and my higher vibration music on. And I go and get in the shower. And as I get in the shower, I'm thinking of how everything is going wrong. And I'm leaving some things out, but I'm thinking about how everything is going wrong. One thing after another, after the next. But let me tell you what happened, guys. As that music began to play and I began to just listen to the higher frequency vibrations, I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I'm sorry, because like I said, I'm laying in bed and can't sleep, so that's what made me get up. I'm like, what's going on, right? And it dawned on me, like, if the devil is fighting you this hard already today, then there's something that he's trying to block. Oh my God. That is what I wanted you guys to get. If the devil is fighting you that hard already, there's something that he's trying to block. And immediately it came to me and I said, okay, I need to fight back. Because my first initial thought was, I said, after I get out the shower, I'm not going to do no work. I'm not going to do all this. I'm going to go lay in the bed and sleep, and I'm going to get up and start my day over. When I have a really, really, really bad day, sometimes I would do that. But then it dawned on me that, no, you're not supposed to be sleeping. Anytime the devil is fighting you that hard, is pushing that hard, and you like, what in the world is going on? He's coming after you with a bad day. You need to push even harder, because that is an indication that God has something for you to do that day that the devil is trying to stop you from doing. So let me tell you what happened. So once I realized that, guys, hold up, guys, I'm sorry. So once I realized that, guys, and I said, okay, I got something to do, I realized it was my motivation. My motivation today was, can you be wonderful and still be a liar and a cheat? You see what I'm saying? So when I realized that, and after I did, once I said, well, let me fight harder and do what I need to do, everything seemed to get better. And I did the live. The live was awesome. So if you guys didn't see it today, please go back and look at it. The live was amazing. God really showed out with the information that he gave me to give everybody. And then, guys, as I was saying, Colin, as you were saying, and Marsha, you was thinking about, I was laying in bed and I said, I am not the same person I used to be. Things that I used to want to get upset about when I was younger don't bother me like it used to. I say what I mean, and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. You get what I'm saying? I don't stress out about the things I used to stress out about, and I definitely don't have the temperament that I used to have when I was younger. So what I'm realizing is that as I was laying in bed and I put that post up, I was like, oh my God, you so freaking grown. You so freaking grown. You've grown up. So the thing is that the reason I put my desk together by myself was because I had no other choice. You know, babe is on the road or whatever. The reason why I push forward, even with this horrific condition that I have, which is the most traumatic, painful, most acute, painful disease in the world. We know that. I push forward. I had one earlier tonight. And I just rolled over, and I just was like, God, lately I'd be like, God, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm looking forward to my healing. I'm waiting on my healing, to come. But I said, I'm so freaking grown, and I'm so proud of myself, because when I look back at everything that I'm going through and everything that was meant to take me out, I finally realized that not only was that for today, but that was also for now. The devil is fighting me so hard. He's fighting you so hard, because there's something on the other side that God has for you that would be a manifestation of your prayers, would be a manifestation of your faith, would be a manifestations of your obedience, would be manifestations of your faithfulness to God. It is all time. And I told you year before last, we're walking in this season, and this is my season. So regardless of how the devil tried to turn it around and make me think it's not, I keep saying, God, I trust you. So whatever it is that I'm going through, whatever you allow, God, I trust you to know that it's for my good and to your glory. So the thing that I realize, and I want to impress upon you today, not only that have we grown, because we are real grown. We're real grown. I knew they said at 40, you be like kind of like, 45, you really don't care. But listen, let me tell you, honey, by the time I got 47, I really didn't care too much about what people had to say. You see what I'm saying? I've earned the right to express myself. I've earned the right to tell younger people, listen, you got a lot of growing to do. I've earned the right to say sometimes these things come to challenge you, to grow you up. And a lot of times people don't want to be challenged because they don't want to grow up. You see what I'm saying? So I'm learning not to waste my breath on people who don't appreciate my words or my wisdom. I'm learning to empower myself and appreciate my own wisdom and my own words. And this is for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Carla, I know, but this is for somebody else as well, because people don't realize that anytime God gives you the gift of teaching and ministering and speaking, a lot of times you have no clue. Sometimes it could be for one person out of 1,000 people that needed to hear this, that you have to be your own empowerment, that you have to encourage your own self sometimes, that you have to pat your own self on the back and be proud of the places that you've come and where you're not at anymore. You see what I'm saying? And so when I began to think about my journey, laying in the bed, when I began to think about my journey, I began to feel so much better, because I was like, God, I'm nothing like I used to be. I'm not that person. I'm still that sweet, kind person with that loving heart that gives too much. But I don't think you could ever give too much. But I'm not that person anymore. Trials and tribulations have made me stronger. You see what I'm saying? Things that should break me, I'm able to push through the pain and navigate on my own. Things that would normally take me months and months and months, God has allowed me to go through a process of being in the fire, so that when the trial came, I could push through it in a couple of days. You get what I'm saying? So I thank God so much that I'm not where I used to be. I thank God so much that I've grown. I thank God that I'm enough. And that's something that we need to begin to tell one another when we're so many times people confuse my interaction on social media or my interaction and love for people to think that I'm not a introvert. And to be completely honest, I am an introvert. I am both introvert and extrovert, but I am so much an introvert. I love my time. I love being by myself. I don't have a problem being by myself and not being in a relationship, and I think people know that as well. I love also being in a relationship because that gives me that opportunity to exert that extrovert in me. But the thing is that when you learn to be okay where you're at in life, you learn to be content no matter where you're at. You learn to be content. Like Paul says, I've learned to be content in the state that I am in, because this is it. Whether I'm with somebody or not with somebody, I've learned to be content in me. So the extra somebody is God's blessing and blessing me, because God's intent is for none of us to be alone, whether we think so or not. It is not our intent. We are on this earth to fellowship. And that's why we get so much celebration and joy out of being in a relationship, because the Bible also tells us two is stronger than one. Where one fall down, you have somebody to pick you up. That's what it's supposed to be, And so many times people get so complacent in being by themselves, Carla, and being by themselves, Marsha, guys, that and those others on here, that they take that strength of being by themselves and forget that you are enough, but it is okay too to have somebody else on your side. But when you realize you're enough, come on somebody, when you realize that you're enough to make your own dreams come true, when you realize you're enough to walk your own path, when you realize that you did that, done that, been there, it's not all about that anymore, And I'm so happy with the place that I'm at. Because listen, I know what it feels like to go to a club and party all night. You get what I'm saying? I know what it feels like to travel to the best places in the world. Listen, honey, when I say God blessed me to go to Paris early in my life, you see what I'm saying? Because I'm still young. You get what I'm saying? When I say I've had the couple of men and the side men and all that, I've done all that. When I say I've experienced this and experienced that, I've done the racetracks, I've rode on the motorcycles, I've done that. I've done zip lining. When I say that I've sat on the most beautiful patios and I've had the house You get what I'm saying? And I've had the best of cars, and I've had this. You know what I'm saying? It may not have been the best to somebody else. You know, other people, to them, 5-bedroom house, whatever, ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's still room to grow. But when I say that I can look back and say, God, I thank you. I'm grown. I know when it comes down to it, I can do this thing. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we need to be in life. We need to be at a place now where we need to compliment ourselves for the things that we've come through and the place we're at, and celebrate that we're not where we used to be, because there's so much negativity in the world. So much negativity. There's so much craziness. There's things that does not make sense, and you cannot make it make sense. But the thing is that if you can keep your sanity, if you can keep your eyes on God, if you can hold on to your positiveness, and guys, if you can hold on to your peace, it's nothing better than peace. Your peace will get you through a whole lot of things. When the world is in a turmoil and you got peace. You see what I'm saying? When people are trying to snatch your peace by silly stuff and ridiculous stuff, and make you be where you're not and take you where you haven't been in a while. Listen, you got to hold on to your peace by all means necessary. And I'm not telling you something that I don't know. And I'm not telling you something that I haven't did that was hard. The hardest thing in my life that I ever went through was trying to decide whether I needed to get my divorce. But when those trials and tribulations almost took my very soul, I was like, that's enough. That's enough. I've come too far in my life to let anything steal my peace. And once you have your peace and you've grown and you know what it means to sit by yourself and have your own peace, can't nobody take that away. And that's the place I'm trying to influence everybody to get to tonight. Before you get in a relationship, before you get with anybody else, before you do the things that you feel like, you got to learn how to love yourself. And that's why I'm smiling tonight, because I think I've realized, aside from everything else, that I love me more than I love all these other things going on around me. You see what I'm saying? And I love me because of the God in me. So you got to love the God in you. So you got to recognize God in order to have the God inside of you. Find your happy place. That's right. Find your happy place. And listen, I'm going to go. I could not sleep. I could not sleep. And I should have known God was dealing with me. Somebody needed to hear something, because I should have been asleep. I should have been asleep. I wasn't feeling too well. And God is starting to turn that thing around. And sometimes I think, Marsha, y'all, it's just a fact about being obedient. Being obedient. No matter how close you are to God, no matter how good you may think you are, no matter how messed up you may think you are, listen, obedience. And I've learned that if you're obedient to what God tells you, and you do what God tells you to do, then guess what? God will fight your battles for you. I don't have to worry about the trials and tribulations I'm going through. And like I told you guys before, yeah, I'm going through some things. But listen, a lot of times, don't you know that if I set that stuff at the feet of God, God will fight my battle as long as I continue to handle his business. Obedience will lead the way for you. Thank you, Marsha. It would lead the way for you. You would be surprised if you stop and listen for the voice of God. And say, God, what is it that you would have me to do? And you live your best life. You treat people right. You do the best you can. You would be surprised at how God will fight your battles for you. You don't have to call that person and say, you took money from me. They can't sleep at night because you're a child of God. Let me say that again. You don't have to call that person and say, you hurt my feelings. Learn to get your own peace, because guess what? God deals with them, because you handling God's business. I have the favor of God on my life, and I say that all the time, because listen, if you get to a place of obedience, you don't have to be perfect. Just get to a place of obedience and watch God fight your battles for you. And it's like, I have to ask myself, I said, God, how did I end up here in Atlanta? Like, I've been saying it for years. Everybody that know me know I've been saying it for years. And something else would throw me off. And something else would throw me off. And something else would throw me off. Listen, I'm trying to learn how to deal with the emotions of things I'm going through right now. But don't you know that God will put you and force you to be at a place that you're meant to be to get everything he has for you. God loves you so much that he won't let you stay in a place that you're not supposed to be at. And he'll do it quickly. He'll do it quickly. So when I tell you, celebrate you. When I tell you, look for the good in you. When I tell you, be glad that you're not where you used to be. When I tell you, be glad that you're grown. Be glad that you can see past what a lot of people can see. That the wisdom you have, God gave to you. Because listen, if you ask for wisdom, he'll give you wisdom. He'll give you knowledge. See, a lot of times when people mistaken what you say and they can't understand what you're saying, I had to tell myself they haven't gotten there yet. Because I know that I'm gifted. I know what God has given me. And sometimes I have to slow down what I'm saying because I know my mind works like that. You get what I'm saying? So we got to learn to celebrate who we are and the gifts that God have given us. What I want you ladies to do and guys to do when you see this video, and those of you who are on it, I want you to take a moment and celebrate you. If you too tired to do it tonight, do it tomorrow. Do it the weekend. See, even being here, I took myself out. I took myself out to lunch one day when I was just running around. So I went to Red Lobster out of all the places in Atlanta, Georgia. I had a taste for shrimp Alfredo. So I took myself out and I had a strawberry daiquiri and I got like these crab shrimp stuffed things and Alfredo and the bread. And I had a wonderful time. Let me tell you what such a wonderful time I had with myself, that I went in initially. It was a line. So I went in and I said, can I sit at the bar? And it was like, yeah, go ahead. And I sat at the bar and then this guy immediately started to talk to me. And I said to the bartender, I said, listen, it's a seat for one over there. Can I go ahead and take a seat right there? And he was like, yeah, favor. Let me tell you, favor again. So what I thought I was doing, God went on right collar and put me in a booth by myself, one of those little booths. And so I was looking at the cars and the people on outside waiting in the line and all of that going on. And I was loving on myself, and I was laying in the bed at night and I said to myself, you know what, you don't really need, let me ask you something, ladies. We have to stop waiting for somebody else to celebrate us. We have to stop waiting for somebody to say, let me take you to dinner. We have to stop waiting for somebody to say, let me take you on this trip. We have to stop waiting for somebody else to tell us how amazing we are, how beautiful we are. We have to stop waiting for somebody to validate us. And it does not make you manly. It makes you the boss like we are. See, all those things that I said to you, like I tell you all the time, I don't tell you things just for you to be like, oh, she don't know. I've did that, done that. I don't wait for anybody to take me on a trip. When I'm ready to take a trip, I try to put myself in a position where I can take myself on a trip. And you see, I've done that very often. I don't wait for somebody to take me to dinner. If I want to go to dinner, I go. Do I love when Babe take me to dinner? Of course. I love when he loves on me. Do I have to wait for somebody else to tell me when to make a move and how to make a move? None of that. So therefore, God had already prepared me to be in a position that when my husband shows up, I was ready to receive him because I'm already whole. How you know that's where that was going? Be whole. Be whole, celebrate you, and most of all, say what you say and mean what you say. Don't backtrack. Don't go back off of that. Because the person for you will love you for you. The person for you would understand your clicks, your little clicks and downfalls and your good days and your mood days, and it won't cause them to run out on you and abandon you or all of that foolishness. The person for you will be for you. So when God allows somebody to ghost you or go on about their business, then let them go. Let them go. You get what I'm saying? So that the door can open for the right person to come into your life. And one thing that I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get off, because one other thing I discovered while laying in that bed tonight, I discovered that I'm a wonderful woman. I know y'all was like, she's just too much tonight. But I want you guys to recognize that about yourselves. I want you to get to the point where you realize how wonderful you are, and how, and men, the men that would look at this, never forget that to have a loyal woman on your side, a woman who challenges you to be better, a woman who supports you, a woman who holds you down, a woman who try to push you towards your goal, a woman who's in your corner. You are a blessed man, because the gift is the woman. And sometimes as men will hurt the woman God sent to heal them and to help them grow and get the blessing he has for them. Sometimes as women, I've heard men say that a lot of times, sometimes black women mouth mess them up. And I can understand that black women, we have a mouth on us. But in defense of us as black women, I do know this for a fact, that sometimes black women communicate differently than the black man would care for us to communicate. So it comes off as aggressive or smart or disrespectful. But one thing I'm going to tell you, in any relationship, communication is the key. If you don't hear what the other person is saying and you don't take the time to listen, then you're never going to make it anyway. Because if you don't have competency, or you're not understand or have comprehension of what the other person is saying, then of course it's going to come off as black women are smart and nasty and whatever. But we can be a little smart, but then you have to understand the difference between being smart, being pushed to grow, and being challenged, because sometimes those black men need to hear what we have to say as black women. I'm going to say 98% of the time, because I'm going to tell you, if you're with a woman who never has anything to say, you're with a woman who doesn't care what you do, you're with a woman who's complacent and never open her mouth, then you have a problem, because that woman is either don't care, that woman is not safe in her space, or that woman has somebody else, or that woman, you're not, yeah. So a lot of times when I hear men say that, I think that sometimes men that say they may be, they're entitled to their opinion. I'm going to put it like that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go. I think now perhaps I could sleep, because I had it on my mind. Yeah, we grown. Doing grown folks things. New chapter, new beginnings, uploading. That's what I got to use, a chapter as an author. So guys, reflect, be good. Yeah, definitely, Carla. We can't ever settle. We can't ever settle. We have to push ourselves as well as the ones we love. And we gotta get it. We gotta get it. I was saying on a live earlier today that time is so precious right now. You know, we can't get it back. I don't know if we can recoup the time, but we definitely can make the best of our time. And that's why I put up that post. And I'm reiterating what I said before on one or two of my other videos. And I said, wear the dress, take the kiss, be happy, grasp the happiness that God has in this lifetime. Because at this point in juncture in my life, I think I'm gonna go for it. I think that I've experienced enough heartbreaks in my life that I know that when I go for it, it's gonna be it for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go for it all. So let's just see how that works out. It's gonna work out. It's just that I might have some bumps and bruises along the way, but I'm going to go for it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Marsha and Carla, and everybody else that's on here, because Marsha and Carla talking to me. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have a blessed night. And I'm going to go, hopefully I can go to sleep now. Time I began to talk, I started yawning my head off. And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to sleep until I was obedient to what I was feeling, because I was like thinking other things were keeping me awake. But I just needed to be obedient to what God was telling me to do. Celebrate you. Thank you so much. To God be the glory. Celebrate you. We grown now. And it was a long time coming. So thank God we're not where we used to be. Love you guys. Have a great night.